All of us are very familiar with this part, the diagnosis of asthma. Here, I will highlight some of the important aspects that we need to focus our attention when we diagnose a patient as asthmatic. The history and the pattern of symptoms is very important for us to analyze and categorize the asthma into various stages. Physical examination, of course, is limited to certain important findings, and the third step would be to confirm the diagnosis of asthma. This confirmation majority of the time is not done by us. One, because for lack of spirometry and flow meter. Two, because lack of understanding of the use of these particular techniques. So, history and physical symptoms and examination findings give you a very strong suspicion whether a particular patient is asthmatic or not. The confirmation rests on peak flow meter and then of course the gold standard spirometry. What are the points that are important for us in the history to be taken from the patient? The first question is, are there recurring attacks or recurring episodes of wheezing? This will give us immediately a clue. Oh, it's not an acute one which has come only 2-3 days back, and this is a one which is coming and going, and that recurrent nature, recurrent attacks and episodes is the hallmark of hyperreactive airways and bronchial asthma. The second thing is troublesome cough in spite of routine treatment, particularly cough worse at night. Or some people may tell the cough occurs or intensifies after physical activity like playing or walking or doing any sort of physical activity. So, physical activity precipitating the symptoms of breathlessness and cough, nocturnal cough, recurring attacks and episodes of wheezing, and the most important thing is history of seasonal attacks of these problems. They relate it to a particular season, the winter months, the rainy days, the pollen season. Depending on their sensitivity, they will say, okay, in these seasons, in these types of conditions, my asthma or my wheezing, my symptoms get worse. So, these are the 4 important clues for us in the history. There are certain important clinical clues in the history that we can always elicit to suspect asthma. All of us do get cold, but in some of them the colds go to the chest or take more time to resolve. Normally a cold, common cold, 2 or 3 days of maximum 5 days will be relieved of the symptoms, but we will not get any chest congestion, cough, shortness of breath, fever and other things. But if the colds are prolonged for more than 10 days, and if each time the patient or the child gets the cold, he suffers lower respiratory symptoms and then airway obstructive symptoms and wheezing, it is indicative that there is airway hyperresponsiveness. Does the patient use any medications? Some of the medications may trigger asthma, and some of the medications which the patient uses may resolve or relieve the bronchial constriction. Let us say the patient I take some betamethasone tablets or I take some Asthalin syrup, my symptoms become better. Then that is again an indicator that this is airway hyperresponsiveness and not simple LRI. If the patient answers yes to any one of the 2 above questions, suspect asthma. Remember, the commonest cause of persistent cough is asthma. Time and again, I have seen several patients who have been treated elsewhere differently with different antibiotics, different types of cough mixtures, cough suppressants, mucolytics, expectorants, bronchodilators, name whatever. Patient is not relieved. But if the cough is persisting, one thing that we need to remember is airway hyperreactivity, and we have to test that patient with spirometry to confirm or negate the diagnosis of bronchial asthma. Clinical examination. Of course, there are not many clinical findings which are associated with asthma directly. The most commonest one being wheezing. Patient himself or herself complains of wheezing which can be heard without the aid of a stethoscope. Patient complains of shortness of breath, which we call as dyspnea. That dyspnea may be of varying grades. When we use a stethoscope and auscultate rhonchi, particularly expiratory rhonchi. Expiratory rhonchi are the hallmark of bronchial asthma and bronchoconstriction. Patient in severe asthma will be using the accessory muscles of respiration to assist the respiratory effort. But majority of the times, patient may not have symptoms except the patient may not have any clinical signs except the symptoms that we have listed above. Remember, absence of symptoms, absence of clinical signs at the time of examination does not exclude the diagnosis of asthma, because asthma is not a perennial disease. Asthma is not a disease which is found on every day of the month in every month. It comes and goes. Recurrent episodes, recurrent attacks of wheeze, seasonal occurrence, triggered by allergens. So, at the time of examination, if we do not find symptoms or signs, we cannot exclude the diagnosis of asthma. We have to go into the detailed history as listed in the previous slides and then test them for pulmonary function, confirm or rule out bronchial asthma. During physical examination, in addition to the rhonchi and the wheeze and the dyspnea, we may find hyperexpansion of the thorax. This occurs in chronic asthmatics. As more and more air trapping occurs due to difficulty in expiring the inspired air or air out problem, there will be hyperexpansion of the thorax. Sometimes patient may have associated atopic symptoms like rhinitis, allergic rhinitis, increased nasal secretions. There may be nasal polyps. There will be other associated atopic conditions like atopic dermatitis, eczema and other allergic skin conditions. These sometimes go together. Asthma is an atopic disorder. It may be combined with other atopic conditions like atopic rhinitis, nasal polyps, atopic dermatitis, eczema and other skin conditions. These are some of the important clinical clues to make a diagnosis or suspect a patient to be having bronchial asthma. Nonetheless, the confirmation is by pulmonary function testing, which we will see in the subsequent slides.